All right, live. Oh, I gotta get the door. All right, back. Let's see how long it takes people. Was just watching one of my other videos. Infinite possibilities, Air Force guy, and Surf and Go. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Kiwana's here. Lindsay Larson. I just closed the door and the dog just opened it. That's awesome. Rachel Hines, yes. Drummer. It looks like everybody is listing right now or working. Antonio's in Australia. How you doing? Down under. Aloha. Are you off in Hawaii? What's up, Skater Punks? Huntsville, Alabama. Nate and Sarah here. I assume it's probably Nate. What? My phone totally detected that and I didn't even press anything. That's crazy. Baltimore, where I used to be from. Fort Lauderdale. Second trip to the Bends. Nice. All right, so everybody's in here. We got like 69 viewers. We'll give it a minute or two, and then I'll get started on the talk here. I just want to go over a little bit of taxes. We're not going to go too in depth. We're just going to do like a general taxes 2017. So we'll see. Wi-Fi makes it easier, and it doesn't drain your data. No doubt about it, guys. All right, so what we're going to try to get to 100 people, I think, and then we'll do taxes. Oh, we have somebody in my chat. We're going to go ahead and block you. Gone. Lindsay, you're very welcome. Socialblade.com. There's also a an app called on YouTube or on the app market called what is it called? Studio. YouTube Studio. Media is only 50 cents a pound. It is. No, you're not late. We just got on just a minute ago. Just got on. So we'll get started with taxes in just a minute. I want to make sure everybody's in here before I get going on the taxes. I'm not going to be reading the questions too much after I'm done talking. Is YouTube actually banning correctly now? I don't know. What do you mean banning? Not sure. Not sure what you mean by banning. What is banning what? But yeah, I'm going to talk about the taxes and then I'll take questions after I talk about it. So that's how we're going to do it. Once I get enough people in here, just give it a minute or two more and then we'll talk about it. Couldn't get the chat up? Just refresh it. Just refresh it and it'll come up. Give me just a second, guys. I'm just setting a few things up. Oh, yeah. YouTube fixed it. I can block people now if I have a troll. I absolutely can. It is 8:30 p.m. here. We're not going to talk about shipping or any of the other stuff. We're going to talk about taxes today. So hold your questions, and then once we get going, to be just a second, we'll do the question and answer side of taxes. We're almost okay. We're over 100 people, so why you have to pay taxes? I'm going to go over everything best I can. I'm going to cover a lot of it, and we'll talk about. We're going to talk about sales tax first for those of you that just started or maybe got going in fourth quarter. We'll talk about the sales tax, and then we'll also talk about federal taxes and some deductions. I do want to put the disclaimer out, though. I am not a licensed CPA. You guys know that. And I don't, I can't give you that advice. So, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt and with my experience and my opinions, but you can definitely learn a lot from what I'm going to tell you, because I've done my own taxes for many, many years, and I started with the help of a CPA. I did hire a CPA to begin with, and I have since not hired any CPAs, but I did learn from, a licensed CPA to begin with. So it's definitely something that, you want to hire in your first year, probably. Okay, I think we have enough people here. I think everybody's ready. Again, if you can, just hold your questions until the end, and then we'll get a lot of questions. Taxes suck, ass Trump. Well, Okay, so there's 131 people in here. First timer on the chat, welcome. Welcome to everybody that's first time. Let's start with sales tax. For those of you that are not familiar with what sales tax is. Now, every state is different, so I'm not going to speak for every state, but I'm going to tell you how it works here in Florida, and it's pretty similar in every state. So sales tax is a tax that you pay, or your customer pays, is supposed to pay you, on an item that you sell locally in the state that you reside and that you operate business in. This also covers if you have inventory stored anywhere, which means for those of you that are on Amazon, if you have inventory in an FBA warehouse, if you make a sale in that state, so if your inventory for Amazon FBA is, you live in Florida like me, and your inventory is out in a warehouse in Texas, and you make a sale to a customer out there, you have to pay sales tax on that item because the customer's in Texas. Now, if a customer orders from New Jersey and you don't have any merchandise anywhere in New Jersey, you don't pay sales tax on the New Jersey, only if you lived in New Jersey. So that's how it works. Anywhere you live and operate, and anywhere that you have inventory stored, or if you have an office located in Texas, even if you just have a salesperson, an employee working out of it, and there's no inventory, you are considered located in Florida and Texas, or whatever the states might be that you're in. So anywhere, they call it that you have a presence, which means an employee, an office, inventory, anywhere like that, that state, you are responsible for any sales tax of any item that sells in that state. So that is, does everybody understand what sales tax is? If you live in a state, or you have inventory, sales, or employees in another state, whatever those states are, any item that sells, you have to pay the sales tax. Now, the percent is different everywhere. My percent is 7%. So if I sold a $100 item here, I would owe my state $7. If I sold a $100 item out in California, where I have FBA inventory, I would owe the state of California whatever their percent was. Say it was 8%, I would owe them $8. And you have to register in all those states where you have inventory. So it is kind of a pain in the butt, and you do have to do it. So that is one of the big issues. There are a lot of states, Oregon, that have no sales tax. So if you're in one of those states, you're definitely in luck. And basically, congratulations. Now, let's go over sales tax for eBay and Amazon. So eBay and Amazon have settings where you can go in and collect sales tax. If somebody from the state that you set it for, let's say you're in Florida and you have inventory in Amazon in California. You set up Florida and you set up California. Anytime somebody from those states purchases merchandise, then they will be charged the sales tax. Now, what happens is, yeah, Lindsay, that's correct. It only matters where you have a presence. Your buyer doesn't matter until they're in the state that you have a presence on. No, if it's FBA and merchant fulfilled. If it's merchant fulfilled, it's in your state. If it's FBA in a warehouse, you are responsible to pay the taxes on those items that sell out of that state. If you're in Florida and you have merchandise in California and it sells FBA, you have to pay the taxes. Now, you can set your settings, which is what I was going to talk about here in a minute. This is both. This is eBay and Amazon. This goes for both. Basically, you can make a setting where every time somebody in those states that you have inventory or presence will collect the 7% or the 8% or whatever it is. But what happens is, and where a lot of people get in trouble, let's say I set up my Florida to every time a customer in Florida buys from me, they pay me 7%. So I sell a guy a $100 item and he spends $107 because now he's got to pay me $100 plus tax, $107. I get the $107. I have to be disciplined enough to pull the money out. eBay and Amazon are not going to pay this for you. They have no part of it. They don't know anything about your state. They're going to send you the money just like any normal transaction. And you have to recognize that you sold an item to a customer in Florida and pull, or your state, and pull the money out and put it to the side so that when it comes time for sales tax, which for me is every quarter, some of you are yearly, some of you are monthly. Again, you have to talk to your state to set that up. You have to pay the money. If you collect sales tax, or some people don't charge the sales tax, they just get paid and then they have to pull the money out of their payment. So that's another thing that you have to take into consideration when you're doing profit. One way or the other, you have to pull the money out of what you've earned from eBay and PayPal and send it to your state. You have to write a check or go online and pay it with your bank account. Or, however, confusing. What's confusing, Truth Seeker? I'm going to slow down after each section and answer questions for you guys. I would recommend setting that up and charging customers. I know it does cost some people sales. Some people may log in and then see you charge sales tax and not want it. I personally do charge it. I do. So if you order from me inside of my state or location, you will pay sales tax. I have to be disciplined enough to pull it out of your payment and set it aside for the state later. PayPal asks for your Social Security number in the fourth quarter. Yes, you do have to pay taxes. If you made money, you have to pay taxes. Do you know before you buy from a seller, they charge tax? When you go to check out, it will show you sales tax. On eBay, it should say it as well. If I live in Florida and a customer is in South Carolina, so I'm in Florida, customer in South Carolina, and a customer from Jersey orders, I'm not responsible for sales tax. They're in Jersey. I'm only responsible for customers that exist in the states where I exist. I exist in Florida and South Carolina. Only Florida and South Carolina customers I have to worry about. That's it. If you're in Oregon and you don't have sales tax, you don't have to collect any sales tax for Oregon customers. If you have inventory somewhere else, you would have to collect for that state. But if you don't have inventory anywhere else, then you're good. You're covered. Georgia, I believe, does sales tax. You definitely need to check on that. Lizzie Tish, that's a good point. It's not you owing the sales tax. It's your customer paying you the sales tax. You're basically just a forwarder. You're forwarding that sales tax from their purchase onto your state's government. But technically, I say it as I owe the sales tax. I have to pay the state. Does the state have access to what you sold locally? Great question. No, they do not. Can they audit you? Absolutely. Then they'll get records from eBay and Amazon, and you better not have lied. Don't lie. Don't fudge. Angela, you're confused. Should I be applying taxes from now on? You should be charging your customers sales tax in your state. If you're not, you're responsible to pay it out of your pocket to cover the amount of taxes that they would have paid. Penny, if you've never paid taxes on stuff you bought on eBay, it means the seller's not collecting it, and they're just paying their sales tax out of their own pocket. That Air Force guy, typically every state has a Department of Revenue where you will register. You will register with your state, usually on the website, and they will give you a sales tax number, just like a federal tax number. And you'll usually right on the website, you can just file your sales tax. They'll ask you how much in sales you did in the state, what your percentage is, and then you multiply it and it'll tell you how much you owe. And then you'll just submit the payment. It's pretty easy. The comptroller's website, our website in Florida is the Department of Revenue. eBay does keep 10% of the total sales. So if you sell an item for 100 plus 7% sales tax, they're taking 10% of 107, not 100. You get eaten alive, left and right. They get you left and right. Angela, your local state should have a Department of Revenue or a comptroller's website. They are free in most states. In Florida, they get us for $5. and they provide us with a sales tax certificate. This is how you get the certificate, which allows you to buy tax-free while you're out. Have to be LLC or EIN. No, you can do it with a sole proprietor or a social security number. You don't have to have a business, an LLC, or you don't have to have an LLC or a corp. You can do it under sole prop or social security number. If you don't sell to your own state, you don't owe sales tax. Pretty much, Jill. If you blocked customers on eBay and Amazon from buying, but it's pretty much unavoidable. Somebody from your state's going to buy from you. Yeah, some states have different for every county. Florida's sales tax is different for a lot of counties, but because I'm in one county located, then I'm fine. If I had locations in the other counties, I would have to do it differently. This is not on the IRS website. IRS is federal taxes. We are talking state taxes, state by state by state. You need to go on your state's local Department of Revenue sales tax website. You can block customers. You can definitely block them. If you want to pay out of pocket, you just go to your state's website and they'll give you your state tax percentage, whatever the rate is. Amazon does tell you where your inventory is stored. Also, when you ship your inventory in, you get a shipping label. It tells you what state it's going to. You can keep track of it that way as well. How many items do you warrant taxes? 1. As soon as you start selling. Clayton, no. An EIN number is simply a federal tax number that is used for the IRS to know you're in business, and it's how you submit your federal taxes. We're going to get into federal taxes in just a minute. I just want to make sure most of you or all of you understand the sales tax for a state. Go to your state's Department of Revenue or comptroller site, file for a sales tax number, a state sales tax number. Rewatch this video if you don't understand it. Hopefully it'll clear it up for you if you watch it a few times. But a state sales tax number, which will also give you a certificate with your number, which is how you buy tax-free at the store. Then every quarter or every month or however often they want you to file it, you total up your sales from inside your state, multiply it by your state's tax percentage, 7 or 8 or 9% or whatever it might be, and that's how much you owe the state. You submit it to the state. Usually you can do it via the website. You could take it into a local office, or you can mail a check to usually it's the capital of your state. Minimum before taxes have to be paid. Guys, you're responsible for taxes if you make $1. It's really silly to try to hide any income. Angela, there is a tax setting on eBay. You need to just Google eBay tax settings. It'll come right up. You only get tax-free with the certificate on items that you're reselling. It is called a reseller tax certificate, hence the reseller. So you can't buy stuff to keep with it. The sales tax based on the buyer's county. That's for Florida, it's 6.5% statewide, and then every county has a surtax. So the surtax is different. The actual sales tax is the same here in Florida, statewide, 6.5%, but or 6%. I'm sorry, and then it goes up. My county is 1%. Everything you sell is taxable. Yes. Clayton, to buy wholesale goods at discounted prices, I don't know what you mean. If you just have to negotiate a deal with your supplier. That's nothing to do with tax. There is no eBay report of what's sold locally. The best way to do it is to import your eBay sales into a Excel, and one of the columns is state, and then you can just sort it by the state and then find your state. Darren, I just use QuickBooks. State tax on inventory. I don't know about every other state. Florida has what's called a tangible tax on items that you keep. In inventory, I always do zero cost inventory. I put all my cost into items that sold, so that's different. We're not going to get quite into that. Frank, yes, every state has a sales tax certificate. Correct. So that's the basis of sales tax. Pretty much that's the simplest, easiest way for me to break it down. And if you don't understand it, watch the video a few more times. You can Google some more stuff, or you can go into your local sales tax office and they'll help you out. Yeah, eBay will collect 7%. QuickBooks, I pay $101 a month for QuickBooks, but that includes my payroll, which I think is like $50. So I'm paying like $49.99 a month for QuickBooks. I got QuickBooks Pro online with the payroll and with all that stuff. So you can get it for as cheap as like $20 or $30. Brian, I don't have a video on applying for a sales tax certificate. It's as simple as just going to the website and clicking through the steps. Every state's website's a little different, so I would only be able to show you Florida. You always have to worry to pay the IRS. There's no place to register to not pay the IRS. IRS.gov is for federal EINs, which we're going to get into in just a second. You don't QuickBooks is not required. If you can do it on Excel and you want to total it all up and work with it yourself, you can certainly do that. I do QuickBooks because it totals it up for me. Yes, I do charge. Yeah, I'm responsible for Florida sales tax on eBay. That's the only state on eBay that I'm responsible for. Amazon warehouse, now I've got FBA, so I'm responsible for that. No, Lindy Glenn, this is a great question, and we could talk about this another time too, Lindy, if you want. Sales tax is based on the gross sale, not the profit. Gross sales. It is different from federal. It is gross. If you sell an item for $100, you owe $7 sales tax. If you paid $95 for that and you made a $5 profit, you owe $7 sales tax and you lost $2. It's another thing that you have to keep in mind when you're out buying and selling. I used to do strictly Excel. I didn't use QuickBooks for a long time. I used Excel, and Excel is great. It's a program that is awesome. It does calculate in total if you come up with formulas, and it's awesome to use. Yeah, sales tax is gross. Now, federal tax is different. Let's move over. I think everybody's got a pretty good idea about sales tax. Let's jump over to U.S. federal taxes. So federal taxes is going to be, oh God, Lindy was being, anyways, let's ignore Lindy. I'm just kidding. Federal taxes. First place you need to go is irs.gov. This is where you will file for an EIN, which is basically your employer number. It's your tax ID number, employment ID number, EIN. Is that what it stands for? I don't even know. But that is basically the federal government, the IRS, understanding that you now exist as a business. You can run it as an S Corp. You can run it as an LLC. You can run it as a sole proprietor with your social security number. Doesn't matter how you set it up. They will assign you an EIN, an employment, a federal number. They're going to mail you a certificate. They're going to do all this. I think you can, employer identification number. I think you can you can print it offline now. I've had mine for years. It's in the filing cabinet somewhere. Basically, that tells the government that you're now operating and you're in business. Once you have that, that's all you need to file federal taxes with. Once you go about your business all year, you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, you buy, you sell, you pay your sales tax during the year, end of the year comes. You got to total up all of your sales, which should be easy because if you're selling on eBay and Amazon, they're going to send you a 1099 if you hit 20,000 and 200. If they don't, then just run your reports every month. At the end of every month, run a sales report, print it out, save it on your computer, wherever you want to do it, get the sales total, and that goes into one column. That's your sales total, your gross sale. Also, take note of any credits or any refunds or any of that stuff. Those will come off of the total. And then you're going to have another column where you've kept all of your purchasing receipts. I don't have any here, but all of the receipts you got from the Salvation Army all year long, or the Goodwill or the yard sale receipts that you hand wrote because you learned how to do that here. And you are going to total those up. You'll make a column with all those receipts. So let's say you did $50,000. eBay sends you or Amazon sends you a 1099. Casey, you did $50,000 this year in sales. Boom. Then you find that you had $1,000 worth of refunds or credits or whatever it was or discounts. Bang. So you're now at a $49,000 net sale. Next, you did $40,000 in purchasing all year long. All your receipts total $40,000. Bang, that comes off. That leaves you with a $9,000 profit. Federal taxes are based on your profit, not your gross sales. Profit, $9,000 you're taxably liable for. When you go into your H&R Block or your TurboTax or your Quicken or whatever turbo program, tax program you use, or you go into an accountant, they're going to total those three numbers up. Gross sales, deduction, or gross sales, credits, refunds, less cost of goods, net profit. Then they're going to ask you for all of your deductions. So you're going to get a profit number, $9,000. Bang. IRS says you owe 30%. Well, 30% of $9,000 is $2,700 you owe the IRS. But we get to take out deductions. We used our cell phone. We got some gas. We got internet bill. We got, cost of an email. We got subscription. We got whatever deductions you have, which on most of the programs, they will give you a list of deductions. Your home office, everything that you're allowed to deduct, which I have a video on. You can look, the top 10 deductions. Those will come off of the $9,000 profit, reducing what you owe, the $2,700, down to, say, $1,500. And that's how people with businesses reduce what they owe as low as possible using the deductions. That's as simple as it is, guys. If you close the business with an EIN, I believe you have to get a new EIN. I'm going to slow down and let you guys process what I just said about federal. It's very, very easy. I get a lot of questions about this. Wicked Picker, I will link the old tax video I did in the description. Give me just a minute. Self-employment tax is, yes, I do pay a self-employment tax. It comes out of my QuickBooks. I also pay reemployment tax, which used to be unemployment. It's called reemployment now, but I pay that as well. Adam is saying a home office is a big red flag for an audit. I use a home office. I use just this 14 by 12 room right here that we have, and that's all I claim. I don't claim anything else other than this. If you're selling old merchandise that you didn't buy to resell and it's personal goods, chances are you're not going to cross the threshold for taxes anyways, but you're not really responsible for that. Filing federal taxes is April 15th. Sometimes if it falls on a different day, they'll give you can ask for extensions as well. Darren, I pay federal taxes yearly. I do not pay quarterly. I don't. Everybody is doing GoDaddy. I do QuickBooks. I think GoDaddy is fine, but my QuickBooks has a super easy payroll, super cheap. So I'm just kind of weary about switching right now. Air Force guy, you got it. Penny, my salary is different. Laundry detergent is not a gray area. It's absolutely allowed if you're in the clothing business. Nate and Sarah, you can do it under a social security number. You still have to go on the IRS's site and sign up and let them know you're in business, so they can send you the paper. They'll send you the paper that shows you're in business. If you go on there, you'll see it gives you an option to use your social security number. PayPal working capital. So basically, what would happen? PayPal working capital would be treated as a loan. So one of your expenses would be the fee that you paid, and then you would take a deposit. You would take a payment of let's say you took $5,000, you'd take a payment of $5,000 incoming, and then you would do outgoing payments of every time you made a payment every day, and one of your expenses would be the fee. And that would be as simple as you could do it. Claim part of your gas, electric bill. I had to wash and dry jeans. So yeah, I do claim all those kind of things. Do I pay estimated taxes? No, I just pay them once a year. I've heard about estimated payments quarterly. I've never done it, and I don't understand why anyone would. There maybe somebody knows a bit more about that than I do. Nick Fisher, receipts for yard sale items. Handwrite them. Write the address, the date, or the neighborhood, the item, and the price. That's your only way of accounting for it and the only way of having a receipt. The IRS will be okay with it. I've heard many stories. Ivan Pena, you have to do what's best for your business. I run a sole owner LLC. The 1099s have to go out by January 31st from eBay, PayPal, Amazon. They all will be there by February. Kelly, my employees are on payroll. They get a W-2. They will be getting their tax paperwork in the next week or two. LLCs, I'm a sole owner LLC, which is taxed pretty similarly to a sole proprietor, except I have the protection of an LLC. I pay for that. So, it just depends on my income. But if I'm making, if the company does $150,000, $200,000 in profit, I'm going to be up in that 35% range. Self-employment taxes quarterly. My self-employment taxes are pulled. I get a bill out of QuickBooks, and I see it come out of my bank account for the IRS, along with reemployment. I get that bill. Reemployment is quarterly. Self-employment is when I file my federal taxes, they ask me how much. Garage sale receipts, just buy one of those little invoice books that you get at Walmart. It says invoice, items purchased, item total. I just write it out, and then I pull it and stick it in the folder. Federal tax rate is different for everybody and different for your income rate. You have to look it up. You have to go and file it. I do not transfer inventory to the new year. Everything that I have is zero cost. When it sells this year, it will be pure profit. Yard sale lover, when you file your taxes, if you're going to claim a home office, they will ask you the size of the home office, and they will tell you how much it's worth. Sugar Cloud, I don't do too much food and entertainment deductions because I don't want to raise red flags for audits. People are saying that a home office is a big audit claim thing. I don't think so. I've always claimed it. Maybe I'm lucky, but I think food and entertainment and lavish meals and trips, I think those are bigger red flags than anything. Kelsey, that's how I do it. Okay, so the way that I keep track of my inventory, if I spent $50,000 this year and I sold $100,000, I made a $50,000 profit. I put all the cost into what sold. Whatever's left, I put at a zero cost of inventory going forward. When the IRS asks me on my federal taxes, how much inventory cost do you have going forward? I put zero. When that item sells for $20 on January 1st, like it did yesterday, it's a $20 profit. I've got zero cost in it. So I can only put my new purchases into cost. I'm trying to catch up a lot of your guys' comments right now. So, Brian, we just talked. Brian, watch the beginning of this video. We talked all about sales tax and purchasing tax-free. What are the benefits of zero cost inventory? There's no real benefit because if I separated it, I'm paying half of the tax on it last year and the rest of the tax this year, as opposed to I put it all into last year. So my profit looks a little smaller last year. My profit's going to look bigger this year, but I'll do it again. So it'll just continue whatever the last year of selling is when my profit will look the biggest because everything will be zero cost. For me, it's just easier to keep track of what I paid. I don't know what percent of businesses get audited. I think it's a very small percent. People are saying that you have to pay self-employment quarterly or there are penalties. I have not ever paid self-employment quarterly. I've never been penalized. Every year on my federal taxes, I get a column that I have to mark that I'm self-employed, and it calculates how much I owe, and I pay that. I've never been penalized. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I've never paid self-employment quarterly, ever. $1. Guys, for everybody asking if you make, what number do you have to get to pay taxes? $1. If you make money, you have to pay taxes. It's as simple as that, guys. Yeah, any income that Google's going to send me a 1099 for the money I made on YouTube. I'm absolutely expecting it. And there is no cost of goods. This chair came from Kane's Furniture. It was $200 last Christmas. That Air Force guy. Yep, only 63 likes, over 200 people. I use H&R Block tax program. I just like it. I've been very familiar with it. Income is income. Thank you, Lindsay. Penny, I'm sure you made more than $2. I use H&R Block. My mom was a tax agent for H&R Block, so I got very familiar with the program. I like it. Selling your own stuff is different from selling for profit, yes. Items that are tax deductible. I have a video on it. I'll link that video about tax deductible items, but you can look it up online. I mean, everything from a home office to business lunches, your gas and mileage for your car if you drove to pick up merchandise, supplies, bubble wrap, boxes, all that kind of stuff is tax deductible. Joel, you should be able to select all fixed price listings. Markdown manager for sales, yeah, and then select all. I actually keep all the receipts. Let me see if I think I have the box behind me. I think I pulled it out. I'm going to show you guys because you guys probably don't believe this, but I keep all of them. Yeah, I have them right here. Let me show you guys. For those of you that don't think I'm tax ready, here, look. I'm going to show you guys right now. This is probably just like 6 months. Look, I ran out of envelopes. Each one of these envelopes is marked. Look, March 2016. Every receipt. Now, these are totaled in my QuickBooks. I don't have to go through these. The only reason I have these is if I get audited and the IRS says we need proof of your March 2016 purchases. Whoop, there it is. Here you go, guys. Every receipt. It says you spent $20,000. We're going to start counting these receipts. This box is probably 6 months. I know I've got 2 months. I've got November and December in there I'm working on right now for sales tax. But I keep every one. I keep the physical receipts. Some people like to do it digitally. I get scared if something was to happen to a hard drive or something. But I keep all of them. I keep all the receipts, guys. All of them. Pretty crazy, huh? Yes, Adam. Guys, income has to be reported. It doesn't matter how much you make. How do you claim if you have help sometimes? You can 1099 help if you only pay them once in a while. Otherwise, you have to put it out as like an expense out of your pocket. Shipping supplies will be under your tax deductions. They are not a cost of good. They're not an item you're selling unless it's a merchandise Material, like if you make shirts and you buy thread, that counts as part of your cost of goods. Shipping supplies like bubble wrap and envelopes will go under the deductions. There's a category for it when you file your taxes. Clayton, I probably have, in the other room, I know I have 2016, 2015, and 2014. At least 3. IRS goes back, what, like 7 years? If they went back 7 years, I'd be in trouble. PayPal will send you the 1099, not eBay. PayPal sends it. It's what you've collected through PayPal. In postal boxes, yeah. Yeah, 7 years is how far they can audit you. I've probably got 3 or 4 years worth of records I could pull up. Before that, whew, I was not disciplined. I was not mature, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. So sorry, guys. It would take me a long time to cross-check 7 years ago. I don't know anybody that could cross-check 7 years. That would be crazy. Everybody's giving me a hard time over the box because I'm storing receipts in the box. I intend on using that box one day. Don't worry. I'll use it. If your PayPal gets limited, they'll still send you a 1099, or you still need to calculate what you sold. Shipping cost will go into the deduction column. It's not technically a deduction. It's just a cost. It's an expense, but under your taxes, they'll ask you, how much did you spend on shipping this year? Yeah, guys, if you haven't already liked this video, please do. Please go down there and like this video. Big thumbs up. Trying to get you guys rolling. I know it's 2017 now. Hopefully we can make taxes a little easier to explain, a little easier to work out. I don't know, everything. I'm not a CPA, but I do know a little bit. I know enough to file my own taxes every year. And once you do it 1 year, maybe 2 years, it is so easy. I can't even tell you guys. 1099s are required to go out by January 31st in the mail. You should have them by January 31st most times, but sometimes it can be in February too. You get them. UPS, USPS will get me. eBay does break down your shipping versus your final value fees, yes. No, I do free shipping. Angela, you don't have to keep up with every item. Again, I just do the total of what I spent all year off of what the total was that I sold, and then all my inventory that's left over has a 0 cost. If you have items laying around your house that you wanted to sell, just keep them separate from what you resold for profit. Some people will sell it on a second account, like a personal account. But if you did sell it on your normal business account, you could just subtract those off of your total sales amount. And so you'll be good. And yes, Christy, feel good. I do use QuickBooks, indeed. No, Rusty, I am not deducting the IA payment. Absolutely not. Ian, they will send you a 1099. H&R Block is very good, Kelly. I agree. None of your business. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys being here. If any of this is confusing or you're unsure, I'm completely with Kelly. Get a professional. Use them for a year. Pick their brain. Show them my videos. Tell them what you've learned, what you need to be corrected on. Once you learn it, then you can do it 2 or 3 years from now on your own. I have QuickBooks Online Pro. Just Google QuickBooks Online Pro and you'll see it. I have the payroll edition, so I'm paying a lot more. I'm paying $100 a month for it. You can get QuickBooks, I believe, anywhere from, like, if you sign up for 6 months or a year, like 20 or 25 bucks a month, on up to $50, $60 a month. And I pay 101 with payroll included. They will not send you a 1099 if you're under that 20,000 and 200 transaction threshold. It is but you still need to calculate it yourself and pay. Yeah, spend the money on an accountant your first year, maybe your second year, and that will pay off tenfold over the next few years when you're able to do it yourself. And if you ever get confused in the future, you can always hire an accountant at any time. I offer free shipping. So what happens is when I sell an item, all my sales come in, and then what I physically spent on shipping, what went out, is an expense. Yes. They don't expect the average Joe to figure out taxes. That's how they get you with fines and late fees. I've self-educated myself. I did have my mom to help, but I pretty much educated myself, and I had her help me with a few questions that I didn't quite understand. And of course, I have had a hired accountant in the past. I do not track inventory with QuickBooks Pro. I do not track the cost of each and every item. I have a pretty good idea of what I spent on everything, and if I don't know, it's only going to sell what it's going to sell for. So if it wasn't profitable, it wasn't profit. I don't need to know the breakdown on every single item. Hire Ben Affleck? No, thank you. Ineos and Terra, it's both. No, Dave, if you pay yourself a big salary, you're going to have to pay income tax on it. I can't wait for YouTube to send me a 1099. It's very small. Like I said, guys, you can go on Social Blade. I don't make a ton of money off YouTube. I didn't even get my first payment on YouTube until like, I think this is my fifth, so like September. I think I got the first payment, maybe August, but it wasn't a lot of money. But this coming year, it might actually be a substantial amount of money, a reasonably trackable amount of money where it's going to suck. This year's 1099 from Google, Incorp, YouTube, it won't be too bad. I don't care about it. But, you know, I'll pay the taxes on it and be done with it. Because there's no cost of goods for what I do on YouTube. I can deduct the new camera that I bought. I can deduct the microphone that I bought this year. A couple of deductions, but not cost of goods like we do on eBay and Amazon. Why does YouTube pay you? For the ads? Yeah, YouTube pays for advertisements. That's the majority of the income is ad rolls. Also, you can make money off of links and affiliates, some other stuff, but mainly just ads. Ooh, Thrifty Truckers. That's no good. 300,000 views at a reasonable CPM. You could have made a couple $100,000 off of that. Wicked Picker. Yeah, if I bought a new computer, you could definitely write off a new computer as a tax, but you're spending the money for the computer. So you'll get a little bit of it back. You won't get a full deduction, though. No, got shirts to ink. They will only send you a 1099 if you're both. But if you don't hit both, you still need to report it for sure. I got to look pretty for ads, so deduct shampoo and razors. I don't think they're going to let me get away with that. That's going to raise a red flag audit. Yeah, Thrifty, you could have made a couple $100, definitely. Hector, yes. If you made money, you have to file taxes. They're not going to send you. No, a couple hundred to 1,000, not a couple thousand, up to 1,000 Thrifty Truckers. For 300,000, if you were at $3 per thousand, that's 300. You might have made $900, $800. It just depends on your CPM. It's all different. You don't need to report items on taxes if you sold it out of your personal clothing off your shelf or whatever. Only if you bought it to resell it. If you waited till January, you can't claim it until next year. Awesome. Thank you. Look, Kate brought me a drink. It's getting thirsty. Anything you buy in January will come off taxes next year. I purchased a new computer in November, but I just restarted selling on eBay. Can I sell myself the computer for business purposes? Angel, I would just put it down as a business expense. If you have the receipt, put it down as a business expense for 2016 and go to town. Or you can resell it to yourself. I'm not positive how that would work, but you can. I know you can. That's why a lot of people do deductions at the end of the year, because they want to get it in on December 31st in order to have it for the deductions. Malachi, welcome back. No chewing the ice. No doubt about it. I have got a really bad, and you know what? People used to say me chewing ice was iron. My mom always told me that, like iron deficiency. It's just a bad habit. Joe, yes, all first-class mail comes with delivery confirmation. Your tax ID for sales tax is on your local state. Federal is under irs.gov. I only play one on YouTube. You should have a business license as soon as you start operating. For Florida, I had to get the sales tax certificate. Whoa, little bit of blur going on here. I had to get the sales tax certificate, the irs.gov EIN number, and also a county occupational license for the state of Florida for my county, Hillsborough County here. It's like $35 for the year. I had to get that as well. So I've got all those. I have not met Ryan in person. Ryan Roots on Instagram, if you haven't seen him, also on YouTube. He lives very local to me. I'm gonna have to get together with him soon. He and I talk on Instagram and also I believe on YouTube once or twice. But I have not met him in person, but I will meet him. He does live in my area. He actually, I think he had an office location when he took those pictures with the pallets about 30 minutes from me. But I seen one of his items had an item location 5 seconds from me, like literally down the road. So I think he might live here and have an office there. I'm not sure, but he's definitely close. I'm going to have to meet up with him. I did not ask him for an autograph, no. I will, though, if you guys want to see it. I'm 30 emails back. I have 30 pending emails. Lindsay, I do get recognized quite often, but only at Goodwills, thrift stores, Salvation Armies, not out in regular public. Not yet. That would be, we just had this talk the other night too. It'd be a little awkward. Like if I was in like a Best Buy or Ruby Tuesday or something, it'd be a little weird. I wouldn't be against it. You guys can certainly say hello, but it would be a little bit of a shock to me. If you're selling for charity, get the charity's 501c number, and you're not responsible for taxes. It all goes to charity. That is a write-off. Yes, the interview with David is, he just got back from the cabin in North Carolina today, early this morning. So sometime this week, I will be doing that video, taping it, and then we'll get that posted. Hopefully I can get that up this weekend. We'll see. I got the live show, so we'll see. It does not annoy me to get noticed at a thrift store. Absolutely not. I love when you guys say hello. Some of you don't, and I wish you guys would. Multiple times recently, people have said hi to me. It's awesome. I don't recognize, or I don't regret it. I'm not mad about you guys noticing me. I don't care about the competition. We're all there to make money. There's plenty to go around, so it's pretty good. I did see Pete got recognized at Goodwill in his videos. He got recognized by management too. It wasn't good. Any day for the Benz is good. Brian, you got it. Absolutely. Rewatch the video. You'll learn a lot. Anybody that missed anything or came in late, rewatch this after we're done. Finish watching live, and then go rewatch it, the part that you missed. Hop down from Oregon. What is with all you Oregon people? Nicole and you, and there's a ton of people in Oregon. Lindy, no, I'm not a celebrity. You know what? I think people see my car out in the parking lot and they stop. Restocking fees, do you charge? I don't. Casey needs to see you in some Kiss makeup making pancakes. That's a little weird. I got to be honest. I have had people buy me lunch. I have paid my own. I don't like that too much. I don't like people buying me stuff. I don't care personally if management notices. If somebody in a store notices I'm a reseller, whatever. I have had a problem with one store ever. I've told you guys this. I've never told you guys a story, but I was in a pawn shop, and I want to say it was in Sarasota, which is like an hour south of me. And the guy gave me a price on a bunch of video games. He was just like, everything on that shelf's $5, and everything there's $10, and everything in the bins and the bottom's like $2. So I was like, all right, sweet. So I start going through the bins and pulling out the ones that are good price. And I'm looking them up, of course, and he's not paying any attention. And I pull them all out, and I get like 10 or 15 games out. And I start walking up to the counter, and I put them down. And the guy looks at it. He goes, oh, well, that one's going to be 20 and 20 and 15. I'm like, whoa, you just gave me all these prices. And he goes, well, yeah, I saw you looking them all up. Going to make a good profit, huh? And I was like, you have a wonderful day. I'm no longer interested in any of your games. And I left. And I had just got the i8. This was a year ago, and or close to a year ago. And I probably had $200 worth of games I was about to spend. He lost that sale. I have never been back in that store. I will never go back to that pawn shop. And he doesn't need me. I don't need him. But it was just kind of shocking that he saw I was a reseller after he turned around, and he just went bananas. And then when I went out and got in the i8 and he saw me getting in it, he lost his mind and tried to track me down, like chased me out to the parking lot, like, wait. I was like, nope, not interested. I let most people know I'm a reseller. I'm not going to hide it from them. They're going to see me scanning anyways. Might as well not lie about it. Some people can't accept that somebody else is going to make money off them. They're not built for it. I don't know what the problem is. I do see a lot of jeans, and I don't buy a lot of jeans. They're so heavy to ship. You know what? I'm tempted to drive by that pawn shop because it was a mom and pop shop, and it didn't look like it was one that was going to last so long. It's been very, 9 months, a year. It's been a while. Whenever I bought the i8, it was like a brand new car. I'd be tempted to drive by and see if he's still there, actually. It was a very small pawn shop. But he had a lot of video games. I was definitely going to spend like $200. He probably was selling on eBay. Probably. Yeah, most people are okay with you being a reseller. Salvation Armies, Goodwills, almost all those stores are not going to say anything to you. Corporate stores, nobody like that's going to really mess with you. I can't imagine anybody would ever mess with me about it. I don't know. I've never had anybody say anything. This is just, I drink V8 Splash, like that mixed berry or the Island Strawberry. Which one is this, Kate? Island Strawberry? Mango. It's red. Just a glass. We get all the different fruity flavors of V8 Splash. I really like them. They're super good. 90% of the people at Ben's are resellers. Absolutely 100% true. So hopefully you guys, I hope a lot of people benefited from a little bit of tax talk. I mean, you definitely hire a CPA if you didn't. I don't leave my nice car home. I have a theory about that. People ask me if I think that it costs me deals because people think I can afford it and that they're not going to give me a better price. I don't think so. I think people are enamored. Is that a word? Enamored by the car. They're starstruck by the car. They love the car. They get to talking about the car. That makes them like me. I can't even tell you how many deals I've got because of the car. Don't take that the wrong way. I'm definitely not trying to use it or push it or flash it in someone's face, but it works. It absolutely works. Is she getting on next? Is she going live? Because if I'm holding that up, we've been on an hour. I can't even believe it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't hit that like button already, please go down there and press the like button. You can leave a comment, a question if you want, and I will get to as many as I can. Christmas sales were awesome. We did 24,000 in December. Angela, I don't pay myself a salary. A lot of people ask me how I pay myself. My income as a sole owner LLC all comes into one account. I get taxed on that. I pay the taxes, and then it's my money. So when I want to pay my bills, I just transfer it from that account on over to my account and pay bills out of it. It's that simple. If I wasn't reselling, what would I be doing? Traveling, doing something in the travel business. I don't know. Yes, they did pay for the car. 24,000 profit. eBay and Amazon took almost 30%, or eBay fees, PayPal, shipping, almost 30%, which was, right around, I don't know, $6,000. So that left 18. Cost of goods was 24%, which was 5,000, which left me 13,000 profit for December. The Ben Store T Walker is the Goodwill outlet. Tim Miner, how you doing? 24,000 gross. Yes, probably closer to 13, 12, about half of that, about 50%. I work on 50% after fees, shipping, and cost of goods. That's typical. 40, 50% is about right. So 12 to 13,000 was probably good. I hope I get to Vegas too. Trust me, I hope I do. Eric Bressy, how you doing? Avoid electronics. I sell electronics. There are a lot of Goodwill outlets in California. Look them up. Pay by the bin, pay by the pound, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so my 13, 14 grand is pre-tax. I'll be taxed on that. That'll go into my net income. And then, you know, let's say I'm at 30% of 13,000. Was that $3,900 I owe? But I get deductions, so hopefully I can get that down to half. You know, maybe it'll be $2 grand, $2,500 for the month. My total taxes for the year might top $20,000. Just depends. My proof of employment is my sole owner LLC tax form. That shows how much money I made net profit. That's my proof of income. I'm going to get the Lambo when I make $1 million. Yep, Wicked Picker. There's a vacation mode for eBay. I'm going to let, if Lindy's going on, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. You guys can check this video out and rewatch it. I'm going to let her go do her thing live. I've got live shows. I got some other stuff I'm working on, sales tax I got to get done. So, Brian, it's a mix of everything. They're not tax deductible. Not at all. Used Gallardo is $100,000. I don't want a Gallardo. You can't drive them. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to let Lindy go live and do her thing. I'm going to let you guys rewatch this, check this video out, and then, of course, check out everything else this week that I got coming up. My live show for Thursday is already linked. You guys can go to my main page and bookmark that. And then also live Wednesday. I'll link that tonight. Make sure to join the Facebook group. It's down in the description box below. If you haven't already joined it, we'll approve you. And we'll see you guys another time. Go check Lindy out if you're not already over there. Just click on her name, goes right over her channel, and you'll see her live. See you guys. Have a great night. I will catch you tomorrow.